Father.
My daughter said she didn't know that she'd have enough people to show and tell, so she called me last night and said, and I, of course, because I'm her dad, I went, and then I decided, well, what the hell? And so I lyingly told her, I said, yeah, baby, I'll be there. She went, good, Dad, good night. So she went to bed. And then I tried to figure out what I would talk about on the show and tell. And the thing about show and tell that I love about it so far with William and everyone else is that the energy that you put into anything that you see or have, like your blanket as a child, and I know every one of us here has something from their childhood that they infuse with energy. That energy stays with it. It's a part of it. It's a part of you, and you put it in there. And it has power. That's what a talisman is. That's what anybody has that has a lucky piece. And it can be anything. It can be a belt. It can be a picture that you drew or painted or someone else did, but it's special to you because you made it special. You created it. And I'm going to tell you a weird story. And I don't get creeped out by this, because you might. I was in Vietnam. I was in the infantry. That means you wander around the jungle and have people shoot at you. It was a great time. Now don't worry, I'm not going to creep you out here. I've gone through 5 years of analysis, lots of drinking, and a lot of drugs to get rid of this stuff. I'm pretty cool right now. It's taken a long time, mind you, but I'm here. I'm grounded. But here is a talisman that I've carried for 40 years. And I'll tell you why I have it. It's a strange story. There was a guy in my squad, his name was John Jim, and he was a Navajo Indian. And to keep us safe, his wife had created a series of necklaces to keep us all safe and sound and away from harm. And these necklaces he gave to each one of us in the squad. There were 7 of us. We each had them. We all were safe. Every time something would happen, somehow we were fine. It's cool. We felt we were special, and we were special. But these necklaces were powerful. It was a part of our power. And Easter came along, and a padre came out to the jungle, landed there, had his service there. We're all there hanging out. Because you're going to have beer later. And so I have a little beer, and he passes out these crosses with a stainless steel necklace with a cross on the end. And it fit right in with the necklace. It was really cool. It was great. About a week later, we're on the edge of Cambodia, and we stumble upon a complete city underground. The North Vietnamese were getting ready to really attack something that we'll forget history. We found this place. And they wanted us to destroy it. Now, we're not really that kind of people, so they bring in all these demolition people, and they have tons of crap. And they fill these tunnels with all kind of bomb. And our squad is guarding these guys as they put it together. And we're on top of a high hill in the middle of the jungle, and there's a trail that goes down to the valley. So, he sets this off, and we start running. And I mean, running as fast as your 20-year-old body can carry you down that hill. You're just going like hell. Well, in Vietnam, there's a little weird vine that's called a wait-a-minute vine. It grabs you and rips you because it won't let go. And it grabbed a hold of my necklace that I had, that I'd gotten, and it jerked me back, and my entire squad is running down there, and I'm like, oh no, and everything ripped off, except even the cross and everything else, except for this. And I've never taken it off. Because the energy of that moment is in here. That life and death, whatever you want to call it, fear, safety, all of that stuff is tied up in this necklace. Just like it is in your blanket, just like it is in your Lego of your mom. That energy and that power that we create and put in
most in particular would be clothing. And I think that this comes from my parents lived on a boat, and I grew up on a boat for the first 5 or 6 years of my life, and so we couldn't really own things. It's kind of tight quarters, you can imagine. And salt water has this tendency to ruin things like very nice shoes. So my mother used to keep all of her high heels in the trunk of her car. So needless to say, my parents didn't have a lot of very nice clothing, even though my mom is kind of a little bit of a weird fashionista. And I, over the years, have kind of developed obsessive-compulsive disorder when it comes to clothing because I associate so much emotional attachment with them. So each article of clothing, I could probably tell you where it came from, what year I got it, and who gave it to me. And most in particular are the things that my mother gave me, and I just cannot seem to get rid of them. And this shirt I found wrapped up with my mom's wedding dress a few years ago, and it's kind of one of my favorite shirts, just because it's really soft and it's kind of see-through, and it's got a picture of this naked lady on a swing, which is kind of fun. And over the past 3 years, I've kind of been searching out these items, looking for these things that my parents wore when they were on the boat. So this has gone through who knows how many hurricanes, and definitely probably was worn, I don't know, a couple times a week because that's just the way my dad is. But I've been collecting these shirts, and I've now come up to probably 40 shirts that belong to my parents, and I've also been collecting my brother's shirts from that time period that we lived on the boat. And kind of like Sean, I'm not giving this away, but I have decided, that's one of my New Year's resolutions, to give away 2 articles of clothing per week to kind of narrow down my closet. And then hopefully eventually I'll get down to the things that are really important, not just because of who they came from, but because they look good or something. And that's really why we should be keeping clothes, right? It's because they look good on us and because they make us feel confident. But my parents' clothes are probably some of the few things that I'm never going to get rid of. And I'm going to continue searching for these items, and hopefully one day I'll just have a closet of some really important pieces and not just, stupid American Apparel crap.
Our next show and teller will be Carmen Moreno. You guys are so awesome at clapping. I like it. We appreciate it. You want to help me present them? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
First thing that I would like to present are my bags. These are very important to me. I have matching boots. I'm really into space, or I'm like a pseudo geek, chic, sci-fi, something, I don't know. But I got these bags, and I didn't really know about them at first, but Emily Henson, where is she?
Right here.
Oh, Emily Henson, who works at the Cap.
Oh, great.
Introduced me to all of these wonderful items that I'm collecting. I really hope to one day have like a whole suit. And it's not made out of mylar. I thought it was made out of mylar and make some of my own, but I don't know what this fabric is. If anyone knows what it is, where if you get it, please let me know. But this is my first show and tell, I guess. Is the bags, which have an emblem or a talisman, and then and a couple of summers ago, I can't remember, went to Hungary. Andrew Lyles was there 2 summers ago. I went to Hungary. And I tried ceramic art for the first time ever. And I really enjoyed it. But I've always been into technology, and I thought I was like, oh, this is so primitive. It's just dirt. I hate it. And I'm gonna smash all these pieces. I made a whole bunch of globes and planets, and then I just wanted to smash them. And finally, like when I got back, I ended up not smashing them and kind of falling in love with them. And this is one that I made. It's my favorite one. The porcelain is the strongest porcelain in the world. It's also the most translucent. So you can't see it right now. But
So do you want me to turn the lights down?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try.
Hold it up.
Yes, turn on the
I'm sorry. Okay.
Let me know when the lights go.
So I know some of you, but if you know Simon, well, Lily, who's a very large man, like 6 foot tall German. He's actually stood on this, and they do not smash. So this can take an enormous amount of weight, but it is extremely translucent and lets light pass through. And it took this Hungarian International House of Ceramics. It took them 100 years to come up with the perfect recipe. So this is one of my favorite objects. I'm actually giving it away on Saturday to Jim Woodfield, who is a teacher at the Art Institute who really changed my life. So this is one of my objects. It's very powerful to me. And it's the moon, as you can tell. Copernicus is here. I recently just started boxing. Simon, one of my friends who, the one who stood on this globe, told me a long time ago, he was like, you don't know it, but you have a lot of anger inside of you. But he said this in a German accent, so it's a lot more humorous. I was just this like nervous, twitchy person, and I don't know how to handle things. I'm just kind of dancing around with people a lot of the time, and unsure of myself. He's like, no, for real, you have great strength and anger, and I think you're gonna have to express it. Well, the day that he told me this, and I just like laughed it off. John Scott, the owner of Scott Fitness, stopped me one day, and he was doing a photo shoot for one of his commercials or something. And he's like, I really feel like you need these boxing gloves. These boxing gloves are for you. They just came from the photo shoot, and they haven't been used at all, and they're yours. So he gave me these boxing gloves, and it literally took me like 2 years to actually go to boxing and finally like